Have you ever felt like you're doing all the right things, setting goals, building habits, working hard, but somehow you always wind up back where you started? And maybe you tell yourself that you just need more discipline, more motivation, more time. But what if the real problem isn't what you're doing, it's who you're being? Because here's the truth, you can't really outperform your identity. I mean, if deep down you continue to see yourself as that old version of yourself that you're trying to change, your brain is just gonna pull you back to that old version of you, no matter how hard you try. But here's the good news, because when you learn how to actually shift your identity, everything can change. And so in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. So firstly, let's look a little bit more at the hidden reason why you really are stuck. And genuinely, I don't think people fail because of a lack of goals. They fail because their identity is just out of date. And you're not going to be able to achieve your goals if your self-image is still running on that old operating system. For instance, you can set goals, like you could say that you're going to start a fitness plan or a side project, but ultimately, if you continue to see yourself as someone who is just not disciplined or not motivated or who just never has time for things, your brain is going to pull you back to that, and it's just not going to be possible for you to stay consistent with those goals that you set. And so why does your brain do this? I mean, why does it pull you back to your old ways? Well, I think a big reason for this is that your brain is not necessarily designed for growth. It's more designed for safety and familiarity and predictability. And that's why even good change, it can feel threatening to your brain if it doesn't match that internal story and that internal dialogue that you tell yourself. And I think that's why people can self-sabotage right as things are actually starting to work and go well. And I think it's not because they're scared of failure. It's because that success, it almost feels like betraying that old kind of current version of themselves. And I think you can almost think of change as trying to install new software on old hardware. It might keep crashing, not because the program is wrong, but because the system isn't built for it. And another factor that plays into this is all the little identity loops that you probably don't necessarily see. But the truth is that you're gonna act, think, and feel in a way that matches who you think you are. And your identity, it's really like your brain's autopilot. I mean, it can run just a significant amount of your decision making. For instance, as some examples, you might say that you never have time, and so ultimately you fill your calendar, so that becomes true. Or you might say that you're not creative, and that turns out to be the reason why you never speak up or share your ideas. Or you might say to yourself that you have trouble switching off, and so that results in you just constantly checking your emails and multitasking the whole time. And so the point is that the loop, it will win every time because the system is built to protect the old version of you. Okay, so how do we actually shift our identity? Well, I think there's 4 core things that you can look to do. And the first is to act like the new version of yourself, like the version that you want. Because you don't just wait to feel ready, because you probably never will. You need to really act that new version of yourself into existence. For instance, if you've thought to yourself, I want to be a little bit more confident, and I want to be the type of person that speaks up more, say, speaks up in work meetings, for instance. That's not really going to happen by just sitting back and hoping one day that it's going to happen. What you need to do is you need to just start putting yourself out there. And you need to, in those situations, say in a work meeting, you need to try and start saying things. And you can start off small. It can be just trying to get micro wins to begin with. It might just be you say one point in one meeting, for the week, and that can be it to start with. But over time, those little wins, they will compound and they will start to become easier and easier. And they will start to be a vote of confidence that you can tell yourself. And then your brain will start to see that actually you can be this new, better version of yourself. And over time, that speaking up in a meeting just suddenly becomes far easier, and the fear around it starts to subside. Secondly, make your environment work for the new version of yourself that you want. And so your environment, it should reflect that new identity, not the old version of you, and not make your old habits easy to do. And so that might mean trying to remove certain triggers from your life that used to hold you back into that old version of yourself. If you were someone that used to eat a lot of junk food and you're trying to become a healthier and more consistent person with your diet, it might mean throwing out all the junk food that you used to like from your house. And then that's just not going to be in your environment, and it's going to be far easier for you to reinforce that identity of trying to be healthier and trying to eat better things. Number 3 is to build evidence loops. So every time we do something that is a positive step towards that new identity ourselves, we should record it because, as I said, we're trying to build these like vote of confidence for that new identity. So when you do something that's good, you should recognize that and you should feel good about it and almost praise yourself accordingly. Also, we should try to audit almost our progress. So I'd almost like at the end of every week of trying to take steps towards this new identity, I would look back at that week and just think to yourself, like, what worked well? What reinforced that new identity that I'm trying to create? As well as try to think about, was there anything that like triggered me and did pull me back to that old version of myself? And then once you've done that audit, you can try to adjust things accordingly and add more of those things that are reinforcing the identity and try and take away those things that are holding you back. And fourthly here, try to redefine what normal looks like. And what I mean here is to really try and surround yourself with people that are gonna make achieving that new identity of yourself easier. And what I do here is to try to surround yourself with people who actually have already achieved the identity that you're looking for, because then that identity and the way that you need to act, it's just gonna feel far more normal instead of feeling foreign to you. Because truly, I think you rise fastest when your environment makes your growth feel automatic, and the right people, they can really not just inspire you, they can make sure that you keep becoming the person that you want to. So there you go. You don't need to add more goals. You just need to try and delete the old version of yourself that can't sustain success. And identity shifting is not about pretending. It's just about practicing the person that you know you can become. I hope you found some of that interesting and useful. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.